What is going on?
Yeah, man.
Five people?
I got to meet that drummer, man, who played on that track. I'm thinking of he's got a little thing happening.
Yeah, you should see him. He's a badass. He was a badass back then. He's even more of a badass now. His name, and you may know him because his name is Shannon Corey. Shannon Corey, white guy. He's played with Colonel Bruce Hampton in a few of the iterations of that. Did a lot of jazz stuff, some country stuff. He's been around for a minute. He's been around for a long time. Yeah, connect. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Funkatopia Live, everybody. I'm Mr. Christopher. This is my illustrious co-host, Mr. Michael Blair.
Yes, in the face. In the face. Yes,
in the face.
In the yes, in the face. And he's just going full out on that. He's hollering.
Yeah. Maya McClean is an Australian-born artist, though that you may remember as one half of the iconic dancing singing duo the Twinz. She obviously toured alongside Prince, dancing and singing with him for over a decade, including the legendary Super Bowl halftime performance. You can also hear her singing on multiple songs, including on Prince's Planet Earth album, The One You Want to See, Lion of Judah, Resolution, stuff like that. Maya is preparing to release her debut solo album, Awakening, which she'll be debuting live this Thursday night, which is it's the 10th, at First Avenue in Minneapolis, opening for the former members of NPG, including Morris Hayes, Tony M, Kip Blacksher, and others, including Brown Mark of the Revolution. So she'll be opening that show. The album is going to be being co-produced by Prince's musical director Morris Hayes, longtime collaborator Kip Blacksher, and also three-time Grammy Award-winning producer Antonio Dixon, who has worked with Toni Braxton, Beyonce, and Ariana Grande. And it includes a special guest performance by fellow Australian that we've also had on the show, Taj Farrant. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one and only Miss Maya McClean.
Well, all right. That's how you come on. Yeah, make a bunch of noise.
Well, you just hyped me up. Almost like my whole ego's like, oh, my head's getting big and exploding.
I'm too big to be here. Click.
It made me sound so good. I was like,
why am I dealing with you guys?
Where?
Thank you for that beautiful introduction.
Absolutely, man. It's so good to see you. And okay, look, to start, let's get people reacclimated with you, since you've kind of over the past however many years it's been, you've kind of been inside of your chrysalis for a minute, and now here you are, Miss Butterfly. So before we get into it, just kind of give us an idea of we'll talk about the solo album in a second. I'm talking about you. What have you been up to? What's been going on with you?
Oh, so much. I've been on my journey. You talking about a chrysalis is like a definite representation of where I've been. After Prince passed, it was a really big deal for me. I felt like, I don't know, I could feel his energy just kind of blast into me. And I know that a lot of people felt this same thing. I was working in film at the time, and I was actually working on some content for him. I'd stopped dancing, I paused all of that for the moment, and I really was listening to my intuition. And I was like, I don't even have a plan right now. I've been singing and dancing and, doing the music thing with my sister. And I just really need to connect to the truth of who I am now. I've been living, a twin life where I never really distinguished myself from my sister, it's kind of like, any of you guys married?
Yes, we both are.
So you make decisions with your wife.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
You don't really make your own choices. So
some of them, yeah.
I don't get to do nothing. My wife is the warden, and she knows it.
Have you seen the Key and Peele skit? You said that though. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't watch that show too much, but I probably don't know the reference.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The lead is whatever. Anyway, long story short, I don't even know what I was talking about. Got distracted. So I really having a twin was like being born with a partner, with a wife, where you're just literally making decisions together with everything. It was kind of, it is what it is. And so I was able to, I had a beautiful kind of awakening, and it was helping me, oh, who am I? What do I like? Who am I in this world? How do I even make choices for myself? And so I've been on this whole journey. We'd just released our group album. It was called Heroin December, our band. And I couldn't even do it anymore. I had this opening and I was like, it feels so inauthentic. It doesn't feel like it's me. And so I went on this whole self-love journey and self-discovery and figuring out who I am as an individual. And it led me to film first. And then that was when Prince died. And I was like, then his energy kind of blasted into me. And I was like, okay, where am I going now? And I had to shift that frequency. And then all this music kind of started coming out, and I started listening to my intuition, traveling. My hands started kind of tingling, and I was like, okay, Spirit, what do you want me to do with this? And they go, oh, you need to put your hands on people and work with people. I said, all right. So I started doing body work and helping people. And my first client had a huge release, and I was kind of doing music therapy / spiritual guidance and massage in one. And so that led me into my path of I think I'm just going to start helping to guide people on how to live in alignment with their truth and their authenticity. And people started just coming, wanting to work with me. And then oh, there's my website. Oh, so good. So I started doing work with people remote. The pandemic hit. It was like perfect timing because people were just like really having the time to self-discover. And all of this time I was working on my music, but the energy wasn't ready to record yet. And it was really interesting because I was feeling the music, and my old past self was like, oh, I'm recording, so now I've just got to, I'm writing and creating all this music, but now I need to record it. But then Spirit and my intuition was like, ew, that's like limiting. It feels like it's going to squash the sound, and it needs to be out. So I started just performing and playing and just doing like transformational, like healing music. I don't even know what it was. It was like a transformational healing forum, working with people and tying in my songs to help people awaken to themselves. And then, I moved into retreat space, and I started leading retreats in Mexico, which is amazing, in the jungle, doing like chakra healing retreats, helping people heal from, limiting beliefs, getting stuck in their sexuality, their limiting mindset, helping them connect with their intuition. It was amazing. And then, I've come full circle back, and I'm like, oh, I'm helping all these people like connect with themselves and their passion and their intuition. I'm like, hang on, I'm not doing my music enough. And I was like, kind of like, how you teach something and then you're not living it yourself.
Oh, yes.
Got to a point where I'm just like, I was still doing music, but it wasn't to the full expression of myself. And then I'm like, I need to go back to the drawing board here. I'm going to go and do some I did my own transformational retreats that I started receiving and diving into myself and channeling and reconnecting to myself. And then I don't even want to go into it. There's so much detail of what happened in those retreats. But my mum started coming to me, and she was trying to get me to sing, and I was scared. My throat was all stuck, and I feel emotional just talking about it. And then my throat was like stuck, and it was like I had to get this expression out because I'd been, limiting myself. And she was helping me sing her nursery rhymes that she used to sing to me as a kid. This was in one of the retreats, and then that was her gateway to help me. My mum has passed, by the way, for anyone that hasn't.
I was going to say, I took that impression, but
we got
younger with me, but she was coming through, and so then I'm singing her songs, her little kids' nursery rhymes that she used to sing to me as a kid, and then I can hear her saying, "Time to sing your songs." And I was like, no, I'm scared. I'm too scared to express at that level. And then I was like, from that moment, I was like, okay, I need to just pause, all of this support that I'm giving to everyone and helping other people connect with themselves. And it's my time.
Now, I saw the logo that said Lyht, Lyht. What is that? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so when I was kind of discovering myself in the beginning of the journey, I had a show or something. I didn't know what it was going to be, and I had a date in New York. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing on this. Am I singing music? Am I talking about? I didn't know what it was going to be, but I just said, let me just call it "Live Your Highest Truth," and I kind of created a whole description for the event. And
nice.
And I didn't have a plan on what I was going to do. I just had my guitar and a microphone. And I showed up to this event, and I started the whole thing with, "Hi guys, thanks for turning up. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm doing here. You know, Spirit just called me to do this thing, and I'm created a space, and now I don't even know what's going to happen. But I'm just here to be with you, and let's see what happens." That was what the event was like, the first one, and it was called "Live Your Highest Truth." And it became like a forum of music and conscious conversations with the audience and helping them, you know, connect with themselves and sharing my journeys of awakening through the music. And so Lyht became Lyht, Live Your Highest Truth.
Let me just go ahead and say, you need to trademark that, like sooner rather than later. Not just the living your heart's truth, but also the fact that it's Lyht, which is pronounced light.
Yeah.
That marketing is just is bomb.
Yeah, that was delivered to you in a little.
Yeah, that's you need to trademark
just
that.
gets those gifts.
I need to text Ariel right now. Get that done now.
That's proprietary.
Yes. Yeah, you need to make sure
Morris
you take care
trying
of
to get on. I just heard that Morris is trying to pop in.
We see him down in the thing. He's not. I guess his microphone or his camera is not connected. I was waiting until to see his face before I brought him in. But I didn't know if he was just sitting that way, sitting in the background. It's all good. But let's continue talking about you a little bit, because I mean, I gotta say, let's just kind of talk about that twinning thing, because again, I know we're here to talk about your debut album, and I really want to get you talking about that. And I see that you got your guitar behind you, so maybe there might a little taste tonight. I don't know.
Think.
Maybe.
We'll
see how that goes.
I've got something good for you.
Oh, do you?
Well,
all right.
Okay. Christopher inspired it earlier when I was in the waiting room.
Yeah. Oh, good. So let's talk about your personal life as far as like the twinning and things, because I this always intrigues me. So did you and Nandy ever do do those dating tricks and things where you switch and pretend you're somebody, pretend you're each other? Have you guys did all that?
So we didn't do that much. I think we were just
much. She said much. She said much.
It was kind of like we're too honest, and we're both so committed to just living in the truth that pretending just feels like weird, like it's not who I am. But there was one time when her boyfriend called the house, and this was back in the day when we had telephones and didn't have a cell phone. And I remembered he called, and I said, "Hey." And then he kept talking like it was Nandy, and I could not hold it for too long. I'm the worst at playing pranks on people, but I did pretend I was her for a while. And then the other time was we were both used to perform in the Lion King, the stage show in Australia, and I was ensemble and she was a swing. So she'd cover all the singer-dancer roles of the whole thing. It was a monster job. She was amazing at it. I'm glad she got that, because I probably wouldn't have been good at copying, at learning everyone's parts. She's so detailed. So she just smashed it. But so one day she took my role, even though I wasn't injured or anything. And I said, "Yep, go on." And she was going to be the hyena moment. When Simba's coming out and the hyenas are chasing Simba, she came on and put the whole hyena outfit on, and she comes on the stage with like hooves, like you're pretending to be a hyena, and she came in and she did the choreography wrong.
Oh boy.
So she was supposed to jump in the front of Simba, and you're supposed to like slice the hyena, like grab the hyena's face, and she was facing the wrong way, so that messed up the whole choreography, and she got back off stage. I'm like, you messed it up. I said, now they're going to think I messed up my role.
I was going to say, did you take some heat for that?
They didn't even notice. Actually, I think
all right.
I feel like on that show, the choreographer, because they usually watch the show, or there's like a dance captain or something watching. I don't think they were there that show. I think that was why we did it.
Wow.
Sorry, Disney, messing up your whole brand.
No,
they need to be messed up. I got many bones to pick with Disney. It's all right. Y'all do your thing,
behind the scenes to talk about too, but I'm not going to bring it into this conversation.
That's fine. I got you. No worries.
Understood. Yeah. I see what you did there. Was that a Lion King reference? No, okay. It means no worries. Okay, yeah.
It means no worries.
Yeah, okay.
I love being in that musical. The music's amazing.
So, and then you were on Australian Idol too. And tell me about that experience of being on Australian Idol. And then, of course, let's just go ahead and, while you're talking, go ahead and segue into how Prince discovered you and move into that realm.
Okay. Australian Idol. It was interesting because me and my sister were both auditioning together. And I think I got down to the last, I don't even remember how many people. But then Nanny didn't get through one part. And then we both got, weren't supposed to share this when we were back in the day, but we had to create a whole story that, because I left the show and because we got the Lion King job, me and my sister. I said, Nanny's not going through anymore, I'd like to do it, but we both just got a job that pays us. And we're both going to do the Lion King journey together. So we just took off. I left, Australian Idol, and that was that.
Oh my gosh. So did you get an opportunity to see Taj on when he did his performance there?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so Taj, who's on your album, he was a young kid. I mean, I don't know how old he was at the time, maybe 10, maybe somebody in the chat room can tell me. But he was like really young, and he performed Purple Rain. He did the whole solo everything as a kid, and it was just, and all of the judges were just like gobsmacked. It was just like, what is happening here? He just killed it. It was amazing. So, and he's on your new album, which is incredible. That is so cool. And also, so let's talk about your new album, because you got the amazing Mr. Morris Hayes, which I wasn't aware of his production prowess. Michael, speak a little bit to this. I know May is our guest here, but did you see Morris kind of do a lot of production work when you were?
Oh yeah, I mean we worked together sometimes back in the 90s. So him, I'd be over at Morris's studio. I'd need something from him, or he'd need something from me. Yeah, because
I really didn't know that he had those types of chops until Welcome to America, which he was pretty much, the main, focal on that. I was just like, well, okay, so he can do it all to the end game. And so he's actually, if he's there, let's see if he's there. Actually he's not. Morris, you got to connect your mic and camera, and then it says you need to connect your mic and cam before I can add you to the stream. So, wait, we got to slowly ensure.
We got him.
Well, he did something.
Okay. Well, I'll hold off on my story till we see if we got him, because otherwise I'll tell it with him online.
All right. Yeah. See, so he keeps coming on, and it says to add to the stream, but his picture's not coming up. So I think the audio is on, but the picture is not. So go ahead and tell your story while he figures that out.
Okay. I was just going to say, for instance, sometimes Prince would ask us to do various things in the studio. One thing that Morris and I ended up doing together was we kind of did some additional production on the song We March from the Gold Experience. Like we were both, Prince just kind of was like, y'all do something with this. And, he just kind of turned us loose in the studio. So yes, I am aware, and soon the whole world will be.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. So he dropped off. I guess he's gonna try to reconnect.
Okay.
And then I'll actually. So I'm gonna send him a text real quick to tell him he can join via phone as well.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
while I'm doing that, can you tell people about how you connected with Morris? I know you obviously connected through the Prince camp, but as far as in regards to this album, like you weren't doing music previously, and then you started doing music, and then what was the decision process to say, let's get Morris to do it, or did he reach out to you?
Oh, I'm going to start crying about this one. So I just moved back to LA. I was living in Mexico during the pandemic, and it was time to just get to work on the album after that whole, reconnecting with myself journey. and I just kind of, I think we were just catching up on FaceTime or something like that. And I was all in my creative flow, and I just jumped on the piano or something or guitar, and I just started playing him. I said, I want to show you a song. And I start just sharing what I was creating. And he goes, oh, we got to do this. He loved the vibration. He loved the feeling of it. I said, really? And at the time I was like, I need to manifest an investor to work on this record with me. And I'm like, I'm going to manifest like 20 grand to get this whole thing popping. And Morris showed up like after that, and I'm learning from manifest, and you got to be specific. Am I asking for just money, or am I asking for something else? Because I said I want it for the album. Morris just showed up and he's like, let's do it. Let's do this together. So I called him my angel investor.
Yes.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today with this record. And he started playing on the piano alongside one of my songs. This was just remote, and my whole body's just melting. Feeling the vibration of the piano in the music, and I'm like, oh my God, we got to do this. And so I flew out to his home, and he's got like 2 studios, just all decked out. It's like a retreat where you don't have to think about anything else. You're just chilling in nature, and which is my favorite thing anyway. There's no other distractions.
Oh yeah, amazing. Yes,
town on the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, let's bring him in. He is a long-time Funkatopian. I mean, this brother has probably been with me since day one. I mean, he's been around. He's been on the show many, many times. My good friend, Mr. Morris Hayes, in the house.
Where's he? Oh, there he is. There he goes. Look at him. I can't hear you.
Are you doing that on purpose?
Is he messing around? He's messing around. He's messing around.
He's got to be messing around. He's messing around. Yeah, he's doing it again. He's messing around. We really can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, you can do that. Sorry.
It felt like it was.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. He was messing around. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring him in.
Morrissey. Oh, it's so funny.
He's got my direct phone number, so I don't have to give out the regular other phone number. So he'll just call me here in just a second. I'll just put him on.
Okay.
So we'll see how this sync works out.
If he's dialing.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, his mouth is moving.
Yes, he has to clear his browser history first. Oh no, he's hey Morris, just well, okay, I see what you're doing. All right, so you're gonna add an audio thing. Hold on a second. Is this gonna work?
Oh, I see.
Try that.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, watch
out.
That's so smart.
Look at him taking up 2 slots.
Get
taking
up. Darkwing Duck.
Am I in there, yo?
You in there now?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, Mr. Hayes? All right, so
Miss May, you ain't the only twin. I got Mr. Hayes over here and Mr. Hayes over here.
Two of you now.
And I'm Dynamite.
that one's camera shy.
That one's camera shy. Very funny.
All right, so tell me about what we can expect with. Did you black? Tell me about what we can expect with this album, Morris. Will it tell your perspective on this, your vibe?
Well, first of all, I'm glad to be once again on the show with you guys, man. You know, my guy Michael Bland and you, Mr. Christopher. Thank y'all for having us on, and I appreciate that. But I have to say, man, it's been a really amazing. Hey, everybody. A real amazing experience working with Maya. We worked for years and years from the dancer, type of a vibe where they were like this these wonderful dancers, doing the whole thing, and eye candy, and they at the little premieres and at the places with Prince all twinned up and looking cool and doing the whole thing, super sharp and all of this. To moving into being an artist, and it's a whole nother thing, to come in from that perspective, and what I can say truly is that she's not somebody that's just kind of just happened into it and then just kind of like just dilly dallying into it. She put a lot of work in. She practices. She does her vocal coaching and everything, and so therefore she's not joking around, man. She came in here and really worked hard and really got her whole vibe together. So I'm very happy to report to y'all that this girl has put the work in. Both of them in their own rights have just done really wonderfully since their time with Prince. And so I'm glad, sometimes circumstances as to how you, come together may not be the greatest, but then it's the outcome, and it's what happens. She's like family. So it was like an easy thing of just saying, hey, well, come on out in the woods and let's work, and just come out there. And she hung out for a few weeks and months and stuff to work, and so that was cool. And I'm really happy that the record turned out great. I considered some of my better work. I've worked on a few things, and I appreciate the thing about the Welcome to America. That was cool, but that was Prince, and he asked me to do was just do some touches and enhancements and things of that nature, and that's cool, because when Prince asks you to do anything, I mean, he don't need nobody to do nothing. So the fact that he would ask you to do something, he's throwing you a bone, and he's just giving you a shot to say, hey, let's just stretch out. And so I appreciate that from Prince. That was very cool for him to do that. But this is stuff that I helped write some of it, and she came with all of her stuff, and I did my thing on it and did that. But this is our kind of like musical baby that he's gotten worked on and got birthed out, and it's now to that point where it's time to share that music with everybody. So I'm very happy about that, man, and I'm looking forward to what people think about it. I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. I know I was. I mean, so hopefully that'll be the consensus of everybody that listens to the music.
Yeah, and you got this opening act slot this Thursday, opening up for former members of MPG.
Correct.
And then on top of that, you actually have a listening party as well that's going to be happening. Tell us about the listening party, Maya.
Yeah, that's going to be Saturday in St. Paul. A friend of mine's got this beautiful loft space, so it's going to be a beautiful, intimate gathering where we're going to share the record for the first time, which I'm nervous. It's so scary.
Be scared.
It's so vulnerable. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but we're going to be kind of hosting it in like a ceremonial kind of space. In Los Angeles, I do these gatherings called oneness gatherings, and we create like a safe space for people to just come and be themselves. I lead like a guided meditation and a sound healing, and then people just get up on the microphone and do like spoken word and perform or do whatever their expression is. So I'm kind of bringing that vibration into the space, so it's just a bit more like personable and connected, which is what I'm about. Like I love performing on stage, but I also love just connecting with people and having everyone kind of on the same playing field, where we're just like, oh, hi, there you are. Like there's no separation, between us as beings and spiritual beings living in this body, and we can just kind of ground in and connect. So it's going to be a really special evening, and would love everyone to come and drop in deeper with you all and learn more about your stories. And there might be an opportunity for you to share, anything that you want to, your own music or your story, and just so we can kind of bridge that gap between, I guess, idol celebrity energy and drop it back into, we're all humans here. We've all got talents. We've all got gifts. We shine in our own light, in our own right. And that's what this album's about. That's what, my mission is to bring that connection and that equality to everyone. And that's going to be the space on Saturday where we just, hi, I'm right here. I can touch you. I'm not separate on some big stage, which I love, by the way. I love being up on the stage and I love being, with the people, you know, community.
Oh,
Feel that energy expanding out. That was Morris. That was
Oh, I
Morris.
can't hear you.
Here he
Mr.
is.
Christopher, we can't hear your microphone.
Oh yeah, that was Morris. He's yeah, he basically got his microphone working, it looks like, on his computer.
okay.
So now we had that loop going
That
on. Sorry about
feedback
that.
loop. Okay, great.
Yeah. I didn't want you to hear me clacking out the scroll that's going at the bottom of the screen. I didn't want you guys to have to hear me go clackety clack clack. So I forgot to pull that
I
off.
see.
But
Yeah, sure.
yeah, it's all good. So yeah, this listening party. How nervous are you about this?
I mean, it's like kind of just like exciting. Like,
Yeah. And that's one thing I want to make sure that you're aware of too, that you received this energy, and you know this is basically your blessings coming out. So there shouldn't be any other energy other than you picking up your instrument and doing your thing. And as long as you are connected with that, it's going to come out exactly like you want it to. So it's going to be,
Yes,
I think it'd be pretty awesome to experience it if anybody gets out. Matter of fact, as you can see on the scroll, I did set up a shortcut link on funkatopia.com/Maya, Maya. That takes you directly to Maya's website, where you can purchase tickets to those listening parties, tickets, whatever the show. And that's going to be awesome. And the album is called Awakening. Why didn't I screen capture the album cover? But the album is called Awakening. You said you were going to try to possibly try to play something, or maybe yes, no.
Yeah. So just a quick update. The album is not released yet.
Right.
So there is no album cover yet.
Oh, I saw something that said Awakening on it, and I assumed that was the album cover. My bad.
The event. But just to let you know that the music I'm going to be sharing on Saturday is the first glimpse of the album. So it's not even out for anyone else's ears, but everyone that's going to be there. So it's like an exclusive sneak peek before we drop.
How long are you going to be playing for?
I'm not going to be playing. I'm playing the album.
Okay.
Record. Yeah.
No, wait a minute. I want to make sure I understand correctly.
Morris's music.
You're opening for the MPG on Thursday, right? Did I hear correctly? Yeah. Are you going to be performing any music from your record?
Yes. That's where I'm playing.
So that's where the people will be able to hear it.
Yes.
I got it.
If they want to hear the actual recordings and the record, then that'll be Saturday.
Sure.
Morris is
okay.
Getting it clear.
Just for anybody, yeah. I just trying to keep it clean. Keep it clear.
Yeah, and Neil, you go details for Saturday, just go to funkatopia.com/Maya, Maya, and it will take you right to Maya McClean's, the page on their site that has those tickets for that, all the details on that too. Or you can just go to her website at mayamclean.com and go through the process and find it yourself. But I try to make it a little bit easier for you, funkatopia.com. Yeah. Just everybody, all right there.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm gonna have to rock out, but I just wanted to thank you guys again, and anybody that's in the sound of this. Hey, come on down to First Avenue. Check out Maya. We got Brown Marcus gonna be like rocking with us, man. I can't even tell you. You know, Brown is the reason why I'm in Minnesota. Brown and Craig Rice are like the two people that allowed me to like that connection brought me here. From Maserati and back in the 80s, like 86, 87, when I came to, thank you. When I came to Minneapolis, man, it was Brown, and I used to work with Brown at his studio. I was like an apprentice working at Brown's studio in Eden Prairie. And man, that was my entry into the purple world. And so to have Brown over here, man, on this bass, and playing again with him, man, it's awesome, man. And Mark, Mark Brown, man. Brown is funky.
Mm-hmm.
Bubble is Brown, Mm-hmm. So we're very happy to have him on, and very happy to have Maya and doing the things. Just come on down to First Ave and then go over to the listening party. It's gonna be some fun. It's gonna be chill. It's gonna be dope. Trust me, man. I feel she can be nervous because she's doing her little thing, but hey, man, I think it's dope. I feel good about it. It's different stuff for me. You know, I always tease. You know me, I'm funny, man. I always like, I be, man, what you doing with all this tree hugging music? You got all your little your bush gathering music, but it's
I'm
sonically,
a tree hugger.
you know, sonically is great listening to. You know, if it's meditative and you know this kind of stuff. Now, it's not Andre 3000. It's not that, but you know, but it's cool. Look how I'm playing.
Man.
But but it's very cool, everybody. And I like I said, I'm confident. I feel good about it. If I always try to listen to it if I have nothing to do with it, would I?
Morris did amazing on it. His strings, the piano, all of the composition, and the vibrations that he brought in. Like, even though it was something that was like a blending of these two worlds of like, you know, the past and the future and this spirituality, and then Morris's vibe. You know, he did a really amazing job, and you know, it feels like me. And he was such a space for my creativity, with providing, like a lot of other producers I've worked with, like they're always putting themselves in there, like, you can do music anytime, like this is my music, you know. And so Morris was like, I can really feel why Prince wanted to work with him for so long, and just, you know, kept him around for so many years, because he's just such a space for artists to just create, you know, what's coming through without feeling like they have to limit themselves at all. So it was a really safe space for me to work with Morris, and so I thank you, Morris, and just always going to get emotional when I
cheers.
Morris has the biggest heart, like he's just all love. He's like a love bug, and you know, when I get nervous, he's just always making jokes and, you know, making me laugh when I'm feeling tense or attached to things, and helps me loosen up with all of his comedy stuff. And, you know, so it's fun. I just love working with him.
He is a joker. He is so much fun to hang out with, and guy can never stop making jokes. Michael, I know you're fully aware of Morris's.
Morris was quite often the saving grace of the day, because some days we couldn't say nothing. We would just be, I mean, you know, when you're working with somebody as intense as Prince, is some days are diamonds, but a lot of them days are just lumps of coal, you know. And we'd be all, you know, in the dressing room or in the rehearsal room or somewhere, and Morris would just kind of just break the tension, and we, you know, we could recalibrate and, you know, get back to it. You know, no, Morris was very valuable in that respect.
I got to put his audio thing back up because we lost his audio again. There you go.
And when it wasn't me, it was Sonny. Sonny just, you know, you know, man, I'm very fortunate, man. I love these brothers, man. Barbarella, Sonny, all my bandmates, man. You know, we had really some incredible times, and I'm happy to see everybody that's out here still doing this music, still doing the thing, man, their individual thing. That's what Prince wanted us to do. He always talked about, you know, the comparison to like us with like Grand Central, with Sly Stone and Grand Central Station. He said, look at Larry, look how he did when, you know, he went out and had hits like Sly. You know, he wanted all of us to do the same. He was like, after we worked with him, we all learned a lot, you know, and of course there's no, you know, I don't care what we do. There's only one Prince. And so I don't even try to go down there. I'm going to do, Prince was an anomaly. He and Michael Jackson and the ilk like that. You know, I'm not trying to be that, but I do appreciate what we've learned and what all of us have taken away from this, and to apply to our own situations. You know, it's just like he's a musical father to all of us, and so we just accept the lineage of being able to be there and learn and then do what we do. You know, but he was a great, and he's a, you know, one of those rare artists. You know, and so we were very fortunate and very blessed to have been able to work with this cat. So I'm gonna dip out, y'all. I hope to see you folks on Thursday. First Avenue. I got all kind of technical things going on over here today. Me and Kip about to work on it and get it together.
Oh yeah.
But
thank you,
Michael B, man, always Mr. Christopher.
Yes, 3 cheers for Morris. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Hurrah, hurrah.
Hurrah.
Y'all have a good one, man.
All right, man.
All right, Morris. We'll see you later,
now.
brother.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Morris Hayes. So yeah, I mean, I was so excited. How many tracks are on this album?
At this moment, there's 10. Maybe another one might be slipping in there. We're still figuring that out. But we do have a bit of a deadline coming up. So Morris is like, oh, let's just do this one. And now I was like, Morris, slow down. So we'll see. When it's 10.
Yeah. And I tried to, I didn't share all the pictures. I got so many amazing photos. I mean, just incredible.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Love it.
Now, on some of these things, like some of these dance moves and stuff that you came up with, did he kind of give you a lot of freedoms? Say, what are you feeling in this song? What what direction, if any, did he give you? Or, I mean, what was your limitations?
So what he would do is he'd just send us a track, and it was funny to me because I had never a lot of his music I never heard before, except for maybe what was it called? Diamonds and Pearls record. That's the only record I was really privy to.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good start.
All the other songs, I'd only heard them live. So he would send us tracks, and I was like, this sounds so like tinny and like not, I'm used to all the energy of the live, explosions and everything being so epic.
That's because that band recorded in the studio live. That was all of us at the same time. It might as well have been. Yeah. It had different energy. Yeah, you're right.
Different energy with the live stuff. I was like, why isn't Prince recording everything just live tracks? It's so much epic. But yeah, he'd give us songs and he would like, oh, I want you to choreograph to these songs, and then we'd just go away and rehearse them, and me and my sister would create the choreography and learn the backing harmonies, and then would bring it to him, and he'd ask to see it, and then he'd kind of edit things that he'd want. So one thing that he would do, like we're dancers and we can hear like different rhythms and then also counts. Like sometimes we would make up counts in our heads. And this, we had this experience with him when we went to a salsa club together, and me and Nandy are salsa dancing, and we wanted to dance with him, and he doesn't know how to do it. And I'm like, he goes, what are you dancing on? Like I really got to understand him as a musician, because salsa is like 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Like there's a count that kind of moves through the beat. And he's like, what instruments are you dancing on? And I was like, I guess no instruments. There's no rhythms that we're hitting. That's the part of the instrument. It weaves through the whole thing.
Makes sense.
And because I'm like, so he's probably hearing it as the keyboard. But my feet aren't going. So he's hearing every music hit, horns, whatever. And so sometimes if we would choreograph to, certain counts or a different feel that isn't an instrument, he'll go, okay, do a hit on that horn count there. Like make sure you're hitting some of these instrument parts as well.
Sure.
To tie in the actual instruments. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, because I'm hearing things from a different perspective. So it's great.
Well,
but then if you would edit.
This photo, this is that ADHD thing. This photo, and you saw my post, yeah.
I saw that post. I was laughing. I love that.
Michael, I don't know if you saw the post, but basically it showed a pie chart of ADHD, and it talks about, why we interrupt. And it's like, because something's on my mind right this moment, and if I don't say it, I'm going to forget it. Like it had like little pie charts.
Oh, boy. That would probably give me anxiety to just look at it.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I don't want to get involved in all that.
But this is a picture from the Super Bowl halftime press jaunt, and this is where he says no question.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then
any questions, and then he just cuts everybody off.
Right. Yeah. So,
so good.
Tell me how he prepped you guys for that moment. Like, did he say this is what I'm going to do, or?
So he didn't tell anyone anything. We were in the dark, just like everyone else.
Sounds about right.
He never doesn't tell. I mean, Michael knows. He doesn't give anyone any insight. There's no insider information.
You're only told what you need to know.
Me, myself, and I in Prince's purple haze. Yeah. That's basically in his purple universe, just creating his own game out there in the world. I love that. Though. It was so good.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is that I love the way he did it with Third Eye Girl. He just started saying the name Third Eye Girl, and nobody knew really what it was. I mean, even the girls in the band were like, Hannah and Eda were like, it was like, oh, what is that? It's cool. And then they didn't even know that it was the name of the band until they were introduced that way on the Tonight Show, which is hilarious to me. But man, it's just incredible that, you know, being able to kind of go to all these gala events, and you've got to be thinking to yourself, I mean, how overwhelming is this? I mean, because what were you doing right before this? I mean, it wasn't the Lion King stuff, was it? I mean, what preceded this?
So we had just moved to America at the time, and we were dancing for Lula Washington, or like an African American modern dance company. And it was really interesting because me and my sister, and you know, Prince knew this, so it's going to be a funny story. Me and my sister, our trajectory was to dance with Michael Jackson. That was our dream. Michael Jackson was my Prince for all the Prince lovers out there. Michael was mine. And so we're just like, well, we're going to dance for Michael Jackson, and we're going to America. That was our dream. And so we were dancing for this dance company. And after a while, I'm like, it just didn't feel right. I was like, what are we doing here? Our dream was to dance with Michael Jackson and be like a kind of backup singers and dancers and stuff, not so much like doing modern dance, you know. And so one day we were headed to rehearsals. We were doing shows and stuff with them, and like the Greek theater and stuff. And we just kind of called up and said, you know, I think we're done. They let us go. Like it was like easy, like it wasn't even a thing. I was like, oh, well, that was good. Like I don't like letting people down, but we just had to kind of shift. And then 2 weeks later, we auditioned for Prince and got the job.
Wow.
That was it.
That's great. How old are you in this photo here?
I don't know. I'm so bad with timelines. That was when we were in Europe, in London. So what year was that? I don't remember the year. 2027. 2007.
We're not there yet.
We just told you she's got issues with time. Time is not a linear thing.
With time, I'm all in the floating around in the universe. So I don't really know how old we're there.
That's probably why you merged well with Prince too, because he's the exact same way. So I mean, being singers and dancers, you know, did this feel unusual to you? Kind of being, you know, just his companions walking around. How did that feel?
I mean, that was so powerful because we were in London on that shot, where we're looking at the camera. We're going to I think it was a Born Ultimatum premiere in London, and the paparazzi in London, it's like crazy. Like that's what the energy is when Prince is around. It's so crazy, that energy. In America, we never experienced that, or in LA anyway. But London, it's just the cameras are just like all crazy, and so we're just like getting out of that limousine and strutting down that carpet. It was hilarious. Putting on sexy faces. It's all a game. We like put it. Let me look good, and Prince loves it. Like he always sucks his cheeks in. It's such a game, and I love cracking the. You know, it's like everything's a performance kind of thing. Let me look good and sexy and stuff. But the one thing that happened on that shot, which was really hurt my heart, when the paparazzi were going, Prince, look at the camera, or yelling at him. He just walked. He didn't look or stop or do anything or give the paparazzi the time of day. We just walked into the theater, and I heard someone yell out, "You faggot!" Like the British are so harsh with their language. And then when we got in the theater, he's like, you walk down the red carpet with two beautiful girls and they still think you're gay. Like, it hurt my heart. I said, that's so rude. Like it just felt so aggressive, and when they don't get what they want, they're like vultures. It was disgusting. It hurt my heart to hear, you know, them just calling him that, and just Nate calling him a name. It was gross.
I mean, it's ironic because Morris Day called him that in Purple Rain.
Yeah,
it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Well,
they had their whole behind the scenes jokes and stuff, and food fights. Prince used to tell us the story about all their food fights behind stage and stuff like that, and throwing eggs across the stage. So they were all jokers. So
yes, gosh, I mean, I mean, let's just say, you're definitely hashtag blessed to kind of be in his orbit like this, and I mean, both you too, Michael, obviously,
No,
because I mean, but you don't. It's not lost on you of how
no,
amazing.
I don't think so. But and all things being equal, it certainly was an opportunity, but that opportunity comes and goes based on what Prince sees in you. So, I think he very much looked at it as a collaborative thing. We all worked with him. I mean, because you can't work for a genius like him. You have to work with him. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he used to say like in the beginning, I'm like, how long are we working with you for? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't have any agreements. There's nothing written.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to like, how long is this going for? Like, do we have an agreement? Like, of how long do you want to work with us? And he's like, until we want to leave. Like, it's just, there's no contracts. It's just like, well, if you don't want to be here, you just leave, or,
Yeah.
Never's is just like all in flow state and no agreement.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he would wait for the signs that just would appear to him. Like, if it's time to change, if it's time for someone to, go elsewhere and seek their fortune, I think he just answered to whatever vibrations were coming to him.
Yeah, he did say that when me and my sister stopped dancing, he said, it really messed up my world when you guys stopped dancing, because he goes, I didn't know how to call on you anymore, but that felt really beautiful, because it was like he was honoring our path, where we were headed, and we were doing music at the time, and I mean production stuff. Sure. And anyway, he ended up calling us in to do production stuff, and my sister did some photography for him, and we did some branding, filming for his Hit and Run campaign.
Sure. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I got to express this while it's in me, that that's part of the thing that's the part that I would see with Prince, just like the fact that Prince remains Prince through all of it, through all the adversity, people coming and going, and that's just got to be a sad position to be in sometimes, because people come in and they work with you intimately. You couldn't get more intimate with Prince than working with him at what he was doing, and just to be in his position. That was the part that I felt the most regretful for him was that he had something to protect and continue to push forward, where the rest of us were somewhat transient. You know what I mean? We've spent years or months with some people, but that had to be a very kind of difficult thing for him to deal with, I would imagine. I mean, who's to say? It just, and we often project, what we think onto other people. But I mean, what I could see of his lifestyle, he spent probably more time alone than he preferred to, I mean,
I felt like I picked up on some moments of like when tours were going to end.
Yeah.
I could feel his energy shifting, because it's going to be over, and then he's not with the family anymore, and then he's going to be alone, and everyone flies home, and then he's by himself. Yeah. I felt like I was picking up on a little bit of like something there for him with that. Like, it's a lot. And then also I can imagine, being the artist at that level,
and you set the stage for everybody.
And,
right. He set the stage for all of us. But then, we go on, and then he's like, okay, what's next for me?
Yeah.
I don't mean to make it all. I don't mean to.
Look, he's a human, and he's dealing with what he's dealing with, and he's an artist that's positioned himself in that way, and it can get lonely up the top. That's why I want to do. That's why I want to do this listening ceremony, because there's an experience that I have of separation, and I'm a huge advocate of we're all one and we're all together in this life together, and and we don't need to really have that separation anymore with social media. Everyone's a damn celebrity in themselves. Everyone's just sharing that. Everyone's got their own story. Everyone's creating their own magic in their own right, and that's why I love why this listening ceremony is so important to host it in the way that I am, is just we just get to connect. It's lonely, being at the top like that.
Mm. Well, and again, to kind of put a bow on the Prince thing, he was also a very symbiotic person. So he had this flow of energy, and he just needed to have other people in the room to flesh that out. I mean, that's
we're
just
kind
how
of
it was.
translators in a sort of way.
Right, exactly. I mean, he can't. Yeah, he did do all the pieces, but he needed other people.
Oh yeah. Well, when you're alone, where are you expressing it? Just to yourself in your own mind? There has to be that collaborative thing, and that's the co-creation. That's why space holders are so important. To have a sounding board for your creation and getting that reaction, because we're here to experience life and reflect off each other. And if you're doing it all alone, then what are you doing it for? My dad doesn't play guitar anymore because he probably didn't have a platform, and I can feel that he's just all kind of depressed and not not doing it. I went to visit him, and I'm picking up his guitar. I'm trying to, come on, Dad. He did not pick up the guitar once. And my dad used to play like George Benson.
Oh, you're kidding me. Your dad's that bad?
My dad, yep, was one of the best in Australia years ago.
Well,
and his
all right.
percussion and steel pan. He's from Trinidad and Tobago.
And
I'm trying to,
that. Yes.
And he just did not pick up the guitar once. It's just like he's all in his own, space and doesn't feel like there's an opportunity to share his gift anymore. So sad.
Yeah. Being in music is, I mean, somebody told me their mom said, I could never do what you do. And he said, well, why not? She said, being a musician or being in the music business, either way, there are so many disappointments.
Yep.
It can be just one after another. And it's like, you have to have a really buoyant spirit, and you have to be determined to do anything in this business. People make it hard,
Yeah, they do. It's tough. And I've got a couple photos talking about this brand new album. I captured some of these. Who
are the black guys?
It looks like Kip and Morris right there.
I love Kip.
Me too.
You got a phone charger?
He's a bad dude.
Yeah, that's us working together in the studio. Kip came in and just smashed it. He's done a lot of vocal arranging. He's got the most beautiful ear. Just hearing him in the studio of like when I sing certain things, what's that? I forget what it's called. That gift where you can see color.
Synesthesia.
Yeah, I think he's got something like that.
Okay.
And so when he's in the studio, he's like, oh, like he can see the notes that I'm singing and stuff. So cool. Yeah. But his ear, like the way that he hears harmonies and all these layers, it's just like amazing. And I was like, I need you, get in here. But
Kip's great. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I had Dewan on the show. Dewan was saying, I mean, this must run in the family, because Dewan was saying the same thing, that he saw colors whenever, especially in a lot of music. And the reason why that came up was because I said, so what's your favorite song? And he said, My Computer. I'm like, what? I was like, what a weird song to just randomly pick. And he said that song, My Computer, if you do have synesthesia, it literally is full. It like floods the speakers with colors. I'm like, wow, okay. I wish I had that then. I wish that inflict me with that, please.
Yeah, you're just sensing music in a totally different way. In all these, in a different, it's amazing. I'd love to have that.
Yeah, you know what? To be fair, that was the standout track to me the first time I listened to Emancipation.
Yeah,
it's like that song is because it's sometimes Prince could just be 100% honest, and he could break your heart doing it. And that song, while I dig listening to it, it's like, yeah, man, I know what that's like to have time on my hands and nobody to talk to, He was just making a direct statement to me. And I mean, it's a Joni said, it's a personal song. Yes. I think that's why I like it, because there's all that there is to it is really just like a transparency, I guess. You can't always see Prince through a clean lens. Like he does a lot of this in his music. But on that song, there's something very, unhidden and direct,
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow. All right. So there's also this. Obviously, I want to make sure that everybody sees this because we want to make sure to let people know that on July 12th from 7 to 10 at the Schmitz Artist Lofts in St. Paul, it's the listening ceremony for the Awakening album, A Night of Sound, Soul, and Awakening. And while this is just a screen capture, so you can't click that to buy tickets, you can go to funkatopia.com/Maya, Maya, and you'll be taken right to that page. So it's just like you're clicking that, but you got to go. But you got to go and check that out and sing. So
And you can go on my Instagram too, is at Maya McClean, and go into the bio, and then there'll be a link to get tickets there as well.
Yep, exactly. Now, I hear that you might be playing us a little something tonight. Is that true or is it not true?
Yeah, I'll give you.
Okay, I just wanted to verify. All right,
Yeah, you ready for
we'd
that
love
now?
to hear. Yeah, absolutely, we'd love to hear it.
So, Christopher, when I was in the waiting room, you shared something about water. You were talking about wanting to lots of water or drink,
Yes.
I don't know, drinking water
Yeah.
or something. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's the one I'm going to play for you. So there's a song that I wrote called Waterfall, and I wrote it during the pandemic, and it's all about kind of cleansing your body and because of the disease of COVID, and following your authentic calling and your path. So
Wow.
it's called Waterfall. If you go, don't follow the road. The unknown is over the road. If you take it down into the thickest of trees, you might find a world abundant with waterfalls. Water, 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 water. Waterfalls. Water, 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 water. Waterfall. Feel the clay under the surface. Under the surface is the purest of earth. Lay your body down. Let the mother heal disease. Plunge your tainted soul under the waterfalls. Water, 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 waterfalls. Water, 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 waterfall. The birds are flying on the wind, they're dancing through the canopy. Haze, I feel the spirit of the trees. I feel a rebirth happening. Hey, water, 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 waterfall. Water, 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 waterfall.
Wow. Amazing. That was fantastic. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay.
I didn't know what was going to happen. You got
What?
so much control over your voice.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
count me blindsided.
That was great.
That's all.
That was great. You are great.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
That's yeah, I guess we have lots of people in agreement here for sure.
Thank you everyone for your feedback.
Yes, you'll have to watch the
Love you
replay of this.
guys.
You have to watch the replay of this too, because I was putting them up continuously while you were playing. Wow. So wow,
I didn't know you had it in you.
Not well. I knew
Why
she had
didn't you?
talent because Morris had already mentioned to me this girl's got it, and he doesn't say that, and he doesn't put his name on something. So I was just like, all right, so there must be something going on, and wow, that's incredible. That was brilliant. Yeah, for sure. Wow, and that song's called Waterfall. That's going to be on there as well.
Yes.
So is that pretty much going to be the vibe of the album is kind of just being more focusing on the soul and the spiritual side of things, and just kind of all right, so wow, it's
the
gonna be
intention
fantastic.
that I have is just to help people really connect to the truth of themselves, and just remember who they are, that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we can do and be whatever we want to be, and really create from that pure space of higher consciousness. And when we can connect to that, to our higher self and our true self, that's what I call it, or our authentic self, and let go of all of the the limitations that we hold from past traumas or belief systems, limiting beliefs. Once we can strip away all of that. Someone said sexy.
Yeah, I saw that. I put it up. I was like, maybe this doesn't fit.
You can't control what people feel with your music.
You can't control Henry.
And awakening is sexy. I'll take that. It's all about love, the love heart. and
It's
who
a
we
free
are
world.
as well, you know? So when we look, sex is a part of who we are. And
Yes.
and I can go into a whole nother conversation about, you know, conscious sexuality, and
Here we
diving deep
go.
on that world.
Let's go.
Deep intimacy. We can do another episode on that. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We can
All
go
about
deep on
that. Sure.
I've done a lot of
Have to-
study and practice and embodiment on, you know, conscious relating, that I can support you guys in your marriages. I love it. Take you guys deeper.
Yes,
that's the
sounds
other
like
word.
sounds like an 18 and over show is coming up here, Michael.
Yeah. I didn't say
It's
nothing.
not the purity of humanity. I bring it purity into it. It's all about authenticity and truth.
Yes.
That's the
Oh,
other
sure.
thing. I'm actually an embodiment coach, so I do that work with people and help
Yes.
women connect to their authentic truth in their femininity and intimacy.
Prince 007, yes, she is one of the twins. That's Maya and
Oh boy. I guess that's the other thing about being a twin. People will always bring up your other half.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
yeah.
I told you I was born into a marriage. My other half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there's Henry following up on his sexy comment. He said, I'm just
I'm
saying
just
her voice is
saying her
nice.
voice is nice. I love it, Henry. Thank you. Thanks
Yes,
for the
absolutely.
feedback.
So, and again, all you got to do is go to funkatopia.com/Maya, MAYA, and it will take you right to her website so that you can go to get tickets to that listening ceremony. I know it says listening party in the crawl, but it's a listening ceremony, a night of sound, soul, and awakening. And is there going to be any type of pre-talk discussion, you know, before you do it, or how's the night going to kind of play out?
So we're going to open the night. I usually bring people into the space. If anyone's aware of like smudging, where I kind of help people drop into themselves. You know, we can be out in the world and traffic, and it takes us out of the present moment and connection to ourselves. So we kind of bring people into the space and kind of welcome them in like a ceremonial kind of smudging, which is like either sage or copal. I have this beautiful copal from Mexico, from the jungle. And so I usually kind of anoint people as they come into the space so they can kind of ground into themselves and drop into their own body and awareness, and getting out of their minds and into the present moment. And then we usually start with like a circle, kind of ceremonial circle, where we kind of drop in with one another, and I lead like a guided meditation. I may call Prince into the space, bring his energy in. I've got another story about, I've actually channeled Prince. He's actually come through my body before. So that's involuntary. Wow. So I don't know whether that will happen on the night, but that would be amazing if there's people there that want to connect with him. But I'm going to lead a guided meditation in the beginning, and then drop people into like a sound healing that I'll lead. And then we'll probably open up to the space for people to kind of share and create their own intentions for being in the space, and being, whatever they want to share for themselves, either like a word or like something from their heart where we can really connect with each other. I may lead like a heart opening ceremony or a practice with them. I'm going to feel the vibe and just see what kind of comes through from spirit with where people are sitting, and where their energy's at. And then we'll drop into, I'll play the album and people can just kind of lay back and just kind of receive and experience the music and let the music just kind of speak for itself. And then, we'll see how the night goes. There may be opportunity for people to share, their own music or their own stories or poems, or, just a place for us to just kind of connect as community and, on a more like spiritual, like community based level. So it's, I'd like to hold it like really sacred and honest and authentic. That's like a huge part of who I am. And I like disappearing like the stigma of separation, like people on stage, people, in the audience. I like bridging that gap and bringing everyone into the same space. So we're like, oh, hi, how are you? I can see you. Like, let's just be present with one another and see what comes out from that space and open our hearts. And then we'll complete with like a closing ceremony that will kind of that will close the container so we can all kind of drop in and then bring our energies back to ourselves because we'll be more connected with one another, and everyone will be open and connected, and then we can, before we leave, we bring everyone back into their own kind of energy and autonomy, and then that'll be like the completion of the evening.
Wow. And is the album going to be available for purchase after this, or it is?
Yeah, it's going to be.
You don't have a release date?
Will be released soon.
Okay.
I'll get back on here when it's out. We can do another one.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
I got one question though.
Yeah.
How long did you know Prince before you sang for him? Or was that immediate?
So what happened was we auditioned for his music video when he was having that project with Tamar. And so he was shooting a music video for a song that I love called Incense and Candles.
Yes.
And so me and my sister auditioned for that music video, and Fatima was the choreographer.
Oh yeah, she's great.
I was so green. I didn't know anything. I'm like, oh, we're doing an audition for Prince. Okay, he wasn't there. But there was Fatima was there, but I didn't even know it was her. I didn't know it was his song that was playing. Like it just sounded a bit different from what I'd heard. I didn't know that the teacher was actually Fatima, because I didn't even know what she really looked like. I was just green, just off the boat from Australia.
That's all right.
It was hilarious. And so they filmed the audition, and then Prince saw it, and then we got picked from there. So it was for the music video, but then what happened? I think we were rehearsing for it or something. He ended up taking us to Teddy's, the nightclub, and he do you know where that is? The Roosevelt. He used to go to that club.
I've heard that club mentioned a few times. Teddy's.
The Roosevelt.
We weren't done with the rehearsals yet, but he kind of wanted to. Apparently, I feel like he wanted to get to know us. And my sister's ex-boyfriend was there at the time, and he goes, "Prince is vetting you guys. He's asking you all these questions to see what your character is." And where does he is? We don't even know what we're doing. And he was checking us out to see whether we would be good to work with, making sure that we were, good people and honest and stuff like that. And so, from that moment, he ended up, I think we were rehearsing at his house with Tamar, and something, I think we might have sung for her or did something. And she ran upstairs Prince wasn't there at the time.
Oh.
She ran upstairs and told him, and she explains it like, they can sing, or something like that. And then he ended up going, oh, they can? And he cancelled that whole music video. We stopped it, and then he took us on the road. It's like he wanted to express this like Tina Turner and Ikettes with us in the background thing.
I believe that was the first time I saw you. You went on tour with Tamar, weren't you? You guys were.
We started with Tamar.
Yeah, that's what the first time I had seen you guys was at that show. Man,
our rehearsals for the big time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Say to us, he said, and this was hilarious. He's like, he said, well, would you, when I do my show, would you want to work with Tamar or with me? So cute, like it was a bit, I don't know, concerned that would stay with Tamar or something. I said, this show is you. You did all the
all him. It really
is. All you.
It's all him.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, I always thought about that too. The fact that, even back in the 80s when he had the time and Sheila E. and the Family and all these bands that he had going at the same time, I thought to myself when I was sitting there watching Morris Day and the Time, and I thought, how crazy would it have been if all of this stuff had been released as Prince? Like if Prince had released it himself, not, just giving these songs at the time, people would have just been mind boggled. Because I still think there's still millions of people that have no idea that Prince wrote those songs and believe it or not, outside of this purple circle, there are people that have no idea that he wrote Manic Monday, that he wrote this.
Sure.
It's mind boggling. It's unbelievable. It's content.
I'll tell you what freaks me out, man. I just, for some reason the other night, I went on online and I started listening to Prince originals. Yeah. And somebody had sent me an email a while back saying, you should really hear it because it's, it's different with Prince singing these songs. And I was thinking to myself, well, how different could it be? But they were really right. Like the way he sings 100 miles per hour, it's like, man, he shouldn't even let Maserati touch it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just
I
unreal.
mean, his lead vocals are just so effortless, and
Yeah.
he's singing them with the insight. He's singing the lyrics with the insight of being the writer. So there's a whole different sort of emotional constitution to the music when he's singing. It really does make a difference. I mean, I really enjoy listening to those songs with him singing. I really do.
Well, and I hope this doesn't get too deep, but Michael, well, I'm not. Michael's talking about the salsa story. She already told that, Michael, but yeah, that is a hilarious story. But I don't know if it's going to get too deep or not. But Joni says, Maya, did you practice these spiritualities around P? And if so, how did he respond to it? I asked because you were around him during the time that he was heavily into obviously the Jehovah's Witness religion. Was it just something that you guys kind of kept quiet, or is it something new that I explain that dichotomy?
I wasn't so expressive of, my journey at the time. I was still kind of in the beginning when I was working with Prince. I mean, my mum was spiritual, she was always trust in the universe and the universe will provide. And I believe that religions and all belief systems all tie into the same frequency, which is just God and love energy at the end of the day. And we just have different interpretations of it. That's my belief system. And I'm not, I don't limit everyone. I accept everyone's belief systems. I'm like fully open to everyone else's, beliefs and what has them feel like they're at home with God, spirit, the universe, Allah, whatever the name is. So I believe, my belief systems are pretty open. I just accept everyone for their own journey and their understanding. And great, if that works for you, I love it. And what works for me, I love it. So Prince, he was heavily Jehovah's Witness at the time. But I'd heard stories of him, that he'd gone through so many different incarnations around his beliefs, like he'd studied Buddhism, Christianity, like he's studied so many different religions anyway. So for me, what I saw was, this is just another part of his learning as a spiritual being.
Yeah, he was a
planet,
seeker.
of his like seeking knowledge and wisdom and spirituality and
absolutely
in all these different frames. Like he went from here and then he's over here. I don't even know if he was religious when he was younger. I don't know where he was in the beginning, but he was definitely heavily into Jehovah's Witness. There was some. Do you guys remember The Secret? That movie that came out about manifestation.
Yes.
I was actually sharing this story earlier. He brought the whole band into his living room and sat us down to watch The Secret. And he's like, I don't know what religion this is, but just watch it. And he walked out. He never sticks around. And then we're just sitting there and we're watching it and was like, oh, this is great. I loved it. And so he was the one that actually introduced it to us. And then the whole band went to a dinner after that. We had already been rehearsing all day and we took a break to watch The Secret that Prince introduced us to, and then about manifestation. Then we sat down and had dinner. I said, I don't want to go back to rehearsal. We've been rehearsing all day. Let's just secret. Let's use this tool. I said, let's secret that we don't have to go back to rehearsals. This is me and my sister, and we're all at the table trying to get everyone all in the manifestation circle together. And Morris goes, no, we've got so much to do. I've got to do all this programming, blah, 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 blah. And I said, all right, you create your reality. 5 minutes later, Otis calls, which was our guy, and he goes, rehearsals is over for everyone except for Morris.
Well, there it is.
It worked. Thank you, Prince. Prince teaching
manifestation
got me out of rehearsals. And I did it another time too. I said, let's manifest a check after this show, a bonus check. We had a show in Miami or something like that, and I was getting everyone into it. And then our hairdresser's like, oh no, it's not going to happen. I'm like, all right, I got a check. Me and my sister got these bonus checks after that, and the hairdresser didn't get a bonus check.
You have a little faith.
You didn't go with the flow with it.
Yeah, you got to. It takes some effort. You got to buy in. You can't just sit on the sideline. You got to get involved.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved Prince's, belief systems, even in the Jehovah's Witness. He I used to curse a lot, and I probably still do because I do like cursing. I'm from Australia. We came from convicts and sailors and stuff, but in a good fashion, not like from a negative place.
You didn't drop anything during this whole time. You didn't.
No, he didn't.
I haven't cursed.
No.
I'm evolving. I used to be uncontrollable before. Love it. But I used to curse like every now and then in front of Prince, and he was like, "You what? Like you what?" Like calling me out, and then he started talking to me, and this is when he's a Jehovah's Witness. He goes, words are vibration, and the curse words can be a really negative vibration. I'm just like, all right, and there he is, tapped into vibration. He has all that understanding. If he created Third Eye Girl, do you know what that even means? Third Eye Girl. What the third eye is? Yeah. It's our pineal gland. And when we awaken this pineal gland, sometimes the people say that it's calloused. When we're living in our stuck mentalities, or even water in certain environments can callous your pineal gland, so you stop seeing reality. And I call it like we're in the matrix, plugged in, and when we're not stop it. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. I hear you.
Third eye girl, it's our pineal gland, and when we awaken, when we do plant medicine and things like that, it helps you open up your third eye. And then you can actually see beyond the physical realm and connect to who we truly are. I mean, I've had Kundalini awakenings. I did not know what that was when it happened. I wasn't even I was songwriting, and I had a Kundalini awakening, and I got connected to everything that I am, not in the body, but I was still in the body. And it was funny because all my emotions were all over the place. Like my emotions were uncontrollable, laughing, crying, like hysterical laughing. It was so fun. Like felt like full on freedom.
I love that when that happens. It's amazing.
Yeah, like that kind of convulsing, but then crying too, because my body.
I've done it on this show, Michael. That happened just a few shows ago, where I just kind of get the laughing.
You just call it getting bugged out. What's wrong with you, Chris?
There's an energy tied to that, though. There's an energy tied.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, when we awaken our pineal gland and our consciousness, that's what the album's about.
Well, I hope you folks are going to be there at the listening. Well, first off, you got to be sure to make it there too. I'm trying to click, and also because I'm trying to find this right here. July 10th, First Avenue. So this Thursday, the music of Prince featuring former members of the New Power Generation and Brown Mark from the Revolutions, happening July 10th, which is this Thursday at First Avenue. And Maya McClean, who just got a taste of that amazing song called Waterfall, she is going to be opening this show. So you're going to be able to get an opportunity to hear this music live. Of course, you got to hear it here first. So, sorry about that, but it is what it is. Still get tickets. Still get tickets for this because she's going to be opening up. And then on top of that, then later on, just a couple of days later, then she is going to be doing, now I got to go the other way. She's going to be doing there it is right there, invitation for the listening ceremony. And you can go to funkatopia.com/Maya, MAYA, and get tickets to this as well, and be able to experience that whole spiritual journey that will be the awakening. And you'll be able to get this album too. So, man, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all the stories, and for playing and just blowing our minds. Unbelievable. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much for having me in, and
I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, I loved it. You guys have got great energy, and it was fun connecting with you even before I was even on. Like, these guys are so much fun. And Michael, I'm like, did we never play together? What was up with that?
Listen, that era. When we were at the Excel Center, see, I don't speak to people I don't know generally. I don't invade people's space like that. And nobody bothered to introduce me to you or your sister. So I was like, well,
I don't think we've ever met, really.
Okay. Weren't the both of you there at the Excel Center?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw you. Maybe you didn't see me.
No, I don't know.
That's okay.
How many people?
And somebody said you haven't played together yet, so I guess let's not.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yet.
This is the first album of many. I'm around. I'm cheap. Somebody called me to do something.
Jump on in the band and we'll just tour the world together. That's my manifestation.
Right. Listen, there are
So I'm going to tap you into my vision right now. And I want
Okay.
everyone's support in this manifestation.
Hey, Michael, be prepared to be manifested.
Yeah, no, I'd have a lot of explaining to do to a bunch of people if I just ran off with Maya McClean. Some people would come looking for me. I appreciate it.
Sorry. I'm calling in. My vision is to create such a beautiful experience for people in my shows that it's kind of like a mix between like Prince's concerts, but in a more feminine channeled essence at that level, and also a mix of Tony Robbins, where there's this intermersement of transformation. So people that come to the show actually awaken and transform. And then they leave being able to implement a new way of being and new tools and a new opportunity for themselves in their own lives.
Wow, that's gonna sounds like it's gonna be about to be some amazing experiences for sure.
Epic.
Well, you're stacking the
Epic.
deck mighty high. So now
Yeah,
I want
well,
to see what happens.
now Neil did ask, will there be listening parties elsewhere? He's specifically mentioning
Where are you now?
LA.
Want me to come here to LA? Yes, I'm definitely going to do one in LA.
I'm seeing multiple people here. Neil, Henry, the sexy guy.
Sexy guy. I know.
Yeah, I've never met him.
What sexy want to
That's your
know?
nickname now, sexy guy.
He wanted to know if they're both
Yeah.
out of LA. So yeah, so obviously you have
follow me on Instagram because I'm going to put everything on there. So anyone that wants to come or wants to know about my shows when they're up, just message me on Instagram, stay connected, TikTok. I'm going to be doing some remote stuff too, like live on there, little sneaky little ceremony, intimate sessions there too, but on TikTok. But yeah, let me stay in contact with me, send me a DM. I really want to connect with you guys. I also have a I don't know if this is on my Instagram, but send me a DM and say you want to be invited to my my awakening circle. I'm creating an online community, so I'd love you guys to be all a part of that, where you can share your own stories of transformation and awakening, and also connect with me there as well. So send me a DM, say I want to be a part of your, your awakening circle, which is all online, and we can connect there. But I'll keep everything up to date on my Instagram and TikTok and things like that. So I'd love to have you guys there and to share these beautiful experiences as I keep evolving.
Well, again, funkatopia.com/Maya will take you directly to that website, and then you'll be able to actually click on all the social Instagrams and everything. So you don't have to worry about remembering stuff. There it is, funkatopia.com/Maya or MayaMcClean.com. You can just go directly there if you want, but I was trying to make it easy for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Maya McClean.
Absolutely.
Guys, thank you. An honor to be with you both. Two beautiful kings holding space for funk, for all things Prince and music, and keeping the conversation going. And I see what you're doing here, and it's really beautiful.
Thank you
so much.
Please come back.
All the people.
Back.
Yeah, I'd love to come back when the album's released, and we can go deeper on what's next.
Yeah, we need to do an album chat where we talk about each song and the stories behind them, and we do those all the time. That'd be great
to do that.
It's a date.
And I have some plans that I'd like to share when I come back to.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
fantastic. And the love keeps coming, Maya.
Love you, Joni. Alana, thank you, Alana. Love you guys. So good to talk to you.
Yeah,
and be here with you.
Yeah, it's been an amazing night.
Hi, Lisa.
Thank you guys so much. Maya McClean, everybody. All right.
Bye, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mr. Christopher.
Bye. We'll see you guys soon. We'll see you soon. Funkatopia Live.
Yes.
I am your host, Mr. Christopher. That is Michael Bland.
He's your host. This is Michael Bland.
I hope you guys had an amazing time. We will talk to you next week. We'll see. Something will happen. Even if we're just talking.
Happen.
Yeah, something will happen. Good night, everyone. Thank you again.